In this video you'll see how I made a game with no game engine using PyGame in only a week. I've never used Python nor PyGame for making games before, so it was my first experience with it. For those who don't know, PyGame is basically a Python library that allows us to make some pretty cool games using pure Python. And what's that? Oh, that's just a game I made using PyGame in just a week, and I want to share the story of making it with you. So let's come back a week prior to this. So on day 1, I set up a Python environment in Visual Studio Code for this project. I started to research some material about PyGame on YouTube. After I analyzed most of the tutorials, I found this channel called Coding with Rust, where I found lots of useful tutorials about PyGame, but I decided to stick with the PyGame shooter game tutorial series. Big shout out to Rustam, who is the guy behind this channel. He has some other awesome tutorials on his channel about PyGame. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Okay, now when I found the tutorials I could follow along with, I started to write the code, and what the f is this? Oh my god. After a bit of coding, I made myself shoot the arrows. After that, I also added some UI to see the player's health and ammo. Let's quickly move aside from my game and talk about why do we even need game engines these days when even a stupid ass person like me can make a game without using them. Well, you see, back in the day, it was the reality of the game industry. People didn't have ready solutions to start their games, and so they had to start their projects from scratch. And when I say scratch, I mean not that game engine for kids, but the real scratch, like with nothing. But here's the thing, it took them a while to make the basics of their games work, like weeks or even months to simulate physics. When now I can simply open up Unity, for example, create an object and put a rigid body component on it, and here we go. Physics. However, you may ask me, Ivan, why are you trying to make a game not using a game engine? It will be 100 times easier. Well, you see, I'm not arguing with you. But I want to try to make my own game engine and see how big companies make their own game engines and share it with you. Okay, back to my game. While I was talking here about game engines, I just realized that my game also needs a level editor. So I visited the same channel, link down below, and I found another tutorial for a level editor. Hibbity hobbity, your code is now our property. Thanks Rustam, very cool. I actually did follow his tutorial series and I customized it a bit, and now we have a working level editor. Very cool. Now I need to implement it into my game. Okay, so actually Rustam in his shooter game tutorial series had a video on how to load levels from the level editor.
One eternity later.
Guys, I'm actually dead, and I also have work for the next 3 days in a row, so wish me luck because now I will only have 2 more days to work on this game. See you guys in 3 days. You see, any game engine has an inbuilt collision system. This makes the life of a game developer much easier since you don't have to do hard math calculation. Thankfully, PyGame also has a sort of built-in collision system, but it's limited, especially for my level edits. But after following some tutorials and totally not copy-pasting code, I could finally touch the grass in my game. Or is it concrete? I don't know. Then I moved on to the next step, which is camera scroll. You see, game engines also have an inbuilt camera system, which allows developers to easily make the camera follow the player. PyGame does not have this feature, but we can always find where the player is and then having their coordinates, find out if they're too close to the window border, and if so, stop moving them and instead move the whole level with the objects and enemies. This isn't perfect since you need to move every object individually, but this is the only method that my little brain can understand. So having almost every feature done, the next step is to add the card to the game. Basically, I'm just copying Team Fortress 2 Payload Mode. In this mode, you need to move the card to the enemy's base, and whoever moves the card to their base first, they win. So I made a new class called Card very originally, and started working on trigger activation and moving around the map and checking the coordinates to know when to stop the round. After that, I just need to slightly change the AI and make the bot move to the card and push it if it doesn't see the player. Finally, let's add a main menu with a sick transition that I added by following the tutorial again. And this should be it. Yes, this game does not have any sounds, particle effects, or even music, but I'm not planning to make this project big because it's just made for fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to finish this game completely and upload it in public. I think it would be really cool, but it all depends on you guys. Yeah, that's basically it. Appreciate it that you watched until now. Thank you and see you next time.